last time.
Switch. Switch, switch, switch. Shut up. Be quiet. Disappear. Just disappear. Fuck off.
Here we go.
My headache passes, and I walk through the door that the white-robed men had exited from. Behind the door was another hallway, eventually leading to another door. Before I went in, I checked on the two men. Their backs were barely moving. Looks like they didn't die. A bit relieved, I walk towards the door. I go down the hallway and stand in front of the door. There's another confirmation monitor next to it, and the guard's ID won't open it, so the card is useless for this door. I go back to the white-robed men and borrow a card from around one of their necks. With the man's card, the door opens. And what the hell is this shit? This makes me think of Evangelion. With, all the rays and the tanks and shit. Before placing my foot through the door, before sealing my fate, I hesitate. The room is dim, lit up by the flickering lights of various machines. It feels eerie, as if eyes are watching me from afar. Is that because there's people in the tanks? There are large water tanks standing all around the room, all with strange things inside them. Several living things twitch in the tanks, and one has a massive clump of hair growing inside of it. Oh, okay. So, well, I'm gonna get my answer here in a second, but Alba's one of these things. They remain inside whatever liquid the tank holds, pulsing, alive. One of them holds something strangely like a human with a face, arms, and legs similar to what any person would have. But it clearly isn't one. What in the world? What is that? I enter the room with caution, checking to see if anyone else is inside. All of this seems to be research equipment. Why would Toei have all this? What are these suspicious-looking specimens? And where are all the people? No other words except curses come to my mind. I look into the tanks, bewildered, and I soon feel a gaze coming from somewhere inside of the room. Something that looks like a mermaid with their lower half like a fish with a tail and fins is looking at me. Oh, so not Alba. Okay, so just they're unrelated, or maybe they're related, but it's other stuff. Okay. And the pure white mermaid widens its eyes and knocks on the glass. It flaps its mouth open and closed, as if trying to speak to me. What? The other things in the water tanks. It's either my imagination, or they're staring at me. Yo, really came. I was waiting. Always hurry to me. Destroy me with your power. When I tried to leave the room, something hit against me. Dry juice, or morphine, I guess. Due to the distraction of the water tanks, a black figure had crept its way behind me. That scene with the tanks also reminded me of Alien Resurrection. There was a similar scene with Ripley, actually, where she had to kill a bunch of clones. And now there are more of them. Hey, what? Let go. I tried to escape, but they catch me and hold me down to the floor. Who are these guys? When I turn my head to see their faces, I see a certain design on their jacket. That's Morphine. Amidst my astonishment, my ears pick up on the sound of casually approaching footsteps. Someone's walking down the middle of the pathway. A security guard? It's dim, so I can't see that well. As the footsteps came closer, I was finally able to see the faces of their owners. When I realized who they were, I couldn't stop my eyes from widening. Fucking Virus and Trip are here? Were they brainwashed too? Yo, so you made it all the way in here by yourself? Well, of course you would, Alba-san. We'd expect nothing less. You too? Virus and Trip. Why are they... Virus tilts his head to the side and flashes me a strange smile. You're asking yourself why we're here, aren't you? That's what your face says. Shall I tell you? It's quite simple. The reason is because we're part of Morphine. Right? Morphine? This is a lie, right? These two are a part of Morphine? Yeah, I don't think it's a lie. I don't think so, Alba. Well, we are a part of it, but we don't do the dirty work like the rest do. We're more like the leaders. Virus jerks his chin to the member in the black parka that's restraining me. You were lying to me! We never had any intention of doing so. Although, if that's what you believe, it still doesn't change anything. In truth, we truly are your fans, Alba. Well, we're indifferent. It's useless to talk this over. More importantly, you've gotten into something big. Even if I say that person, we used to be part of Seison's group. A part of Sei's group? By Sei, you mean that person who was with Toei at the event? Alba-san, you don't have any knowledge of what happened once you were born, do you? Huh? Virus grins at my silence. You don't. Well, you did make it all the way here. So let's talk a little. I said it earlier, Alba-san. You are a fragment of Seison's twin. At the end of Toei's long research initiative, he had finally gotten his hands on the ultimate power. He gets his power from Seison. You're the same as Seison, something born out of Toei Inc.'s research, their property, a child with specific genetic engineering. And Seison is your older brother. You two are fraternal twins. Huh? I'm a child with manipulated genes, and Sei is my brother and my twin? The founder of the theory on what your special abilities were based on was a product of your grandmother's research. So, Sei's his twin, but were they grown or born or shit? It seemed like she had not the slightest idea that her research was for engineering a certain child. It was a neural research on the outside. You two twins were designed to have the power to control people's wills by nature. But life is a miracle, and the amount of minute detail and calculations that went into your births were limitless. You two were entrusted with unique powers, and both of you also had no pigment when you were born. Furthermore, both your and Seison's hair was connected, and they also had nerves in them. The scent in your hair must be the remnants of that. It was a hereditary abnormality, and you were products that were cultivated. And by bad luck, you two had died just as you were born. When Seison's hair was severed, his breathing returned, but yours had not. Your grandmother was absolutely horrified that a child that had just been born had died because of her research, and so she took your corpse away from the research facility. She may have thought of giving you a funeral like a normal human being. And despite it all, you came back to life on the way. You had revived. Your grandmother, she must have been both astonished and overjoyed. Probably because she had been the one who had killed you. She took you to her hometown on this island and left you to the church. Why did she do that? To end it all? That's my guess, but she was a researcher, somehow or another. No matter how much she loved you, no matter how she raised you, she still couldn't help to see you as a research subject. She would not have been able to forgive herself. Holy fuck balls. God, Alba, And after that, as your skin gained pigment and was the exact same as a human's, you grew up quickly, shut up in your little world. But amazingly, you two siblings kept your powers. You with your voice and Seison with his eyes. You can hold people's hearts captive. You hold a power that a mediocre human could never dream of obtaining. Surely, gifts from God. Now that you know, is there anything you'd like to ask? You're lying. Do you think so? It was all pertaining to you, and I don't care much if you don't think so. All I spoke of was what I know is truth. It's likely the virus's story is true. He wouldn't gain anything from making up a story like that. but my mind hasn't processed it at all yet. Not knowing how to take it all in, my heart beats rigorously. You two stayed with me for all that time knowing this? That's incorrect. Incorrect. They both reply immediately. I had said this earlier, but the fact that we're your fans is not a lie. You were quite striking as you fought in rhyme as an entertaining psychopath. Yeah. When you used scrap on your opponent in rhyme, that was when we became aware of it. We realized you were really an amazing person. So we investigated a little and put it all together. We were surprised to find that Albasan was a person who had the same potential that Seaison did, but you weren't self-aware of it in the least. There was a danger that you'd unknowingly go on rampages. It would have been troublesome if someone other than us noticed as well, so we made it so that you'd forget about rhyme. Well, not exactly rhyme, but what accidents you'd leave behind after your little brawls. If I were to speak for Morphine, it's an elite force prepared for manipulating human nature. Erasing memories is a trivial thing. Well, when our control was a little too loose and we were too visible, we famously disappeared. So the ones who erased the memories of your past with rhyme were us. We're very sorry. Virus apologizes in a tone that doesn't sound very apologetic. But Toei had Seaison, so we thought it'd be alright if we kept Albasan as our little secret. Well, in the end, Toei found you anyway. Now, would you come with us, Albasan? You can see Seaison as well. Has Sei been with Toei this entire time? That's right. Although, he doesn't have much energy to keep on living anymore. Seaison had his consciousness continually analyzed since he was a child. The time he can keep himself moving is very short. And because of that, his heart is weak as well. He's at his limit. Toei has been calling your grandmother to keep Seaison alive longer. No way. But the luminescence equipment developed to model Sei's eyes has been completed. So, in the worst case, we'll be alright even if Seaison is gone. Luminescence equipment? It produces the different signals that are in Seison's unique vision. Once it's been studied and a large scale of them are released, a number of people will be able to replicate the same results. Well, Seaison is a human with power naturally in him, so we'd rather not lose him if we could. But even if we do lose him, there'd be no more reason to worry. Because now we have you, Albasan. Those words. My hair stands up just by hearing them. This isn't funny. Speaking of his hair, I get that, we know, like, he and Sei were born together with their hair, and it was, you know, where the nerves were from. It still doesn't explain the why. I'm still going with my antenna theory. That it's how he broadcasts his power to people. We'll see. So, if you have no further questions, we're very sorry, but we'll be taking you. The men in black parkas grab onto me and pull me along. Were those really parkas? They were more like hoodies. Let me go. Please be obedient. A slight smile rises to Virus's face. I stare at it, thinking of how unbelievable everything is right now. I believed in them. I thought that they were good people even if they were Yakuza. But why are you guys working for someone like Toei? Us? Virus and Trip blankly exchange glances. If I were to answer, well, we like interesting things, and very fun things too. Yeah. We have no interest in Toei's ideas. The reason we're here is because Seaison is an amazing person, and we can relax while at Toei's side. And that's it. That's it. Well, this is an easy choice. Get angry. That's not funny. Don't fuck with me. I raise my voice, violently struggling to get my arms free. They think of this as fun and amusing. What these two are saying is insane. I didn't think they were that kind of people. You're quite persistent. Could you stay quiet for us? Do it. Yeah. Just enough so he doesn't die. A man in a black hoodie knees me in the gut and I double over in pain. Oh, this is a harder choice. I Shit, I don't know, cause like, use the power means like, Destroy Boy will like, go ham on them, but then maybe that's not a good thing because then Destroy Boy takes over. But if we fight the urge to use the power, maybe that's a bad thing because we're submitting to them. Or maybe it's a good thing because we're like resisting scrap. Shit. I don't know. I just don't know. So they've said quite a few times in this route that like every time he uses scrap, like bad stuff happens. Like Ren said, like what if you do something that you can't undo? And Alba said a couple times a little bit ago in those halls, like every time he uses scrap, he gets really bad headaches and like he gets taken over more. We've been having those dream sequences where like he gets his limbs bit off, like symbolizing him being consumed by Destroy Boy, maybe. So I'm not sure if this is the right choice, but fight the urge to use the power. So I guess I have no other choice but to use it. This power. I raised my face, focusing, but I knew it. I can't. If I use it, then he will. In that momentary pause, I just noticed that Trip had made his way up to me. What is it? Alba-san, are you lost? You seem distracted. If you're a bit lost, Alba, you'll just be a punching bag, you know? Trip punches me in the pit of my stomach, and I fall to my knees. Someone kicks my back, too, and I shamefully tumble down to the floor. I lift my head, putting up with the nausea, and I see the world filled with people's glassy eyes. Morphine. Their eyes looking at me, but they weren't seeing anything. The eyes of humans that have turned into machines that only abide orders. Someone kicks my face, and my mouth fills with the taste of blood. Pain running throughout my entire body. I curl up to protect myself. Taking countless hits, my consciousness slowly starts to fade out. I wonder if, like, just by going unconscious, if Destroy Boy takes over then. Is this enough? Maybe. What now? Yeah. Alba-san. Oh. Continue to resist. Fuck off, please. This isn't funny. Doing this. I muster my strength and bring myself up with my shivering arms. You really don't give up. Just as I'd expect of you, Alba-san. You're right. We'll make sure of how long you can keep holding on, then. Shit. Is this really the end of it? Alba. A familiar voice dimly reaches my ears. That voice. Morphine, huh? Keep it down. Master! Oh, man. Some pests got in. Without the energy to make sure of what's going on, I barely hold on to my consciousness. When I open my eyes, the first thing I see is a mask. A gas mask. Clear. Oh, everyone. Master's woken up. Alba. Then Kojaku, with a smiling face, came into view, and behind him was a white ceiling. Clear. Kojaku? Why are you two? There are more over there, too. As he helps me up, Kojaku points his thumb behind his back. Noise and Mink are leaning on a wall some lengths away. Huh. This is actually really fucking cool. I didn't think the other boys were gonna get involved in this one, but it's cool that they're like still in the story. When I move the upper half of my body, my face warps with pain. Ow, ow. Well, I was beaten to a pulp by the Morphine guys. When I look around, I see that I'm not in the research lab anymore. There are more neatly organized cases of various sizes lined up on a system of shelves. It looks like a room where they'd leave other equipment. Yeah, I think you made out with Noise here once. How did you all make it here? You know, the usual passageway between the old resident district and Platinum Jail. We used it, and then this guy over here tampered with the confirmation monitors. You know, the bratty one. Fuck off, cowboy. All I could do was use a trash ID, so it's piss hard to forge Platinum Jail IDs. So I did a real sweet job as a cracker with all the analysis I did. These guys want information, so I helps them out a little. I could at least get some in, I guess. And then we all beat the shit out of that Toei bastard, right? I was frantic all the way here. It was dreadful, Master. Clear wraps his arms around me in an energetic hug. What? Ouch! This is so fucking cute. I love this. Hey, get off. Alba's all black and blue. I'm sorry, Master. It's okay. Clear's weird antics made me spontaneously laugh. It's been a long time since I've laughed like that. Ojaku, Clear, Noise, and Mink. And everyone else was safe. Although Mink's not saying anything for some reason. When I look at everyone's faces, my heart tightens. So those two fuckers were with Morphine, huh? Yeah. Virus and Trip. I always thought they were pieces of shit.